How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to That Car Vlog channel. If you don't already know, my name is Andy, and today I'm extremely excited to show you guys what is not only my first brand new vehicle on the channel, but the brand new, completely redesigned 2023 Ford F-250 Super Duty. This particular example is an F-250 Lariat. Let's check this thing out today. There's a lot of great stuff to see on this truck. But before we begin, I want to give a huge shout out and a special thanks to Ted Russell Ford of Knoxville, Tennessee for providing this truck for today's review. This truck is borrowed from their Parkside Drive location. They do have two here in Knoxville. So when you get done watching this video, make sure you check the description below for a link to their website where you can check out their great inventory. All right, back to the Super Duty. All right, so let's start out here on the front looking at the nose of the truck, and this is going to be the most obvious part of the redesign to anyone just looking at this truck at a glance. That's going to be this front end. So when you get down here, look at these headlights. You see Ford's continuing their big C-shape LED running lamp all the way around the headlights. They're also continuing their dual headlights, upper and lower. You got your low beams here, high beams on the inside, with of course the LED signal in between those. But the big change for 2023 is the design of this grille and the way it integrates itself with the headlights. So you see it kind of makes this double C-shape, this wavy shape here through the headlights, and of course it continues to the other side and does the same symmetrical thing over here. And I actually kind of really like this design. At first you might think it's kind of goofy looking in a way, but really this is actually a really nice rugged design. I think it looks really good on this truck. Now this one here is in black. If you get some higher option truck, that's your King Ranch and Limited and whatnot, you can also get that in a chrome color as well, although I have also seen one on a Lariat dually with the chrome color as well. It's really nice in the chrome. Coming down the center, you'll see Super Duty stamped into the hood, big huge letter stamped into there, big gigantic Ford badge in the grille with your front facing camera below that. Down here, integrated fog lights into the bumper and a couple of nice big meaty tow hooks on the front of this truck. Stepping back from the front, and like I said before, this is a good, aggressive, beefy looking front end. You can tell when this thing pulls up behind you, it means business. Coming down here, looking at the side profile, you do have a redesigned Lariat and F-250 badge here. It is still on the rear part of the fender like it has been for a few years now, but they have slightly updated that and it does look pretty rugged. Down here on the door, slightly updated 6.7 liter Powerstroke badge compared to the outgoing truck. Really like these running boards right here, these step boards with the Ford stamped into them right here. Look really nice, really aggressive, and they definitely help getting into this high truck. And here you can see this thing is sitting on 8-lug 20-inch rims, 8-lug like Super Duties have had for a long time. And of course that little strip of silver with the Ford on it. Here's your sticker designating this does have the FX4 off-road package. And we're going to come here to the front of the bed to see a feature that Ford just now started putting on their Super Duty trucks for 2023. And that's this step right here in the front of the bed. And if we come back here to the bumper, you can see another feature that Ford adopted, and those are the step ups in the bumper as well. So you get 2 steps on each side of the truck to really help you get up there and reach over the bed, because I mean, these beds are high now, especially on the Super Duties. And I'll tell you what, these new side steps are a nice thing to have too, because this is how high the truck bed comes up on a 6-foot+ person. Reaching over this bed is a chore. Now you just step up, reach in, touch the floor, you're good to go. Here's your taillights. They are slightly updated from the outgoing model. That's not a drastic update, but they are slightly different. You got your tail brake and turn right here, and your big reverse light right there down the center. Looking at the tailgate itself, just like the front, you get a big Ford badge right here, although I believe the one on the front is bigger. Of course, Super Duty stamped into the metal as always. Here's your rear backup camera. Here's your rear puddle light on the tailgate so you can see behind the truck at night when you're working. And of course, it does have the electronic release to lower the tailgate. And it comes down nice and soft. Once that tailgate's open, you can see this one here has the factory spray and bed liner, which is nice. Inside the bed, now this does not have the optional Pro Power on board, where you have plugs and stuff in the back to plug things in. No electrical connections here. You do have a couple of bed lights right here. You push this button right here, and you're gonna activate it, one here, and the 2 above the cab. Push this button again, and they will fade off. You also get a couple of nice tie downs. These particular ones are made to take multiple Ford accessories. And then you get your standard tie downs right here in the bed. On each side of the tailgate, the passenger and the driver side, you got this tie down here, which also doubles as a bottle opener. And because this is a Ford pickup truck, you push this button here in the center of the tailgate, pull out, and of course here is that step assist that most Fords have had for many years now. Of course, here's that same rail handle right here. Pull that up, and now you're easily in the back of your Ford Super Duty, which would be much more difficult without that step. This thing is very tall. When you're done, just climb on down, stow your handle, and your step. You're ready to roll. And of course, another must-have feature you have on this Super Duty truck is, especially for towing, you got these big, nice side view mirrors. You got matching mirror caps on the top, color matched. You get some turn signal lights in the side there. Come around, you can see a big top mirror and a big blind spot mirror as well. Of course, these mirrors also have the blind spot indicator. They also fold. And for towing purposes, you can extend them out to get a better view of the trailer behind you and put them back in when you no longer need it. Also right here on the door, you can see the traditional Ford keypad for when you don't want to use your keys or you lock them in the truck or whatever. Put your code in, you can unlock the doors. Let's open up that door. You can hear it dinging because the key's inside. And let's start taking a look at the interior, starting with this interior door card. So you've actually got a few different materials going on here. This top material, it almost looks, I'm not really sure what to call this, but it's a nice kind of grayish color. It's got this stitching in it. Of course, this is the particular spec of this Super Duty Lariat. You get some soft touch material down here in the armrest. You got your door release right here where Ford has traditionally put it in most of the Super Duties for the past 20 years or more. All your power controls are right here. I mean, and all the power controls, 3 seat memory settings, extending mirrors, folding mirrors, mirror controls. You get auto front windows, power locks. It's all right here. Down below, you get some nice door storage with a couple of places to put drinks. And this real nice, looks like aluminum anyway, speaker grill, part of the B&O sound system in this truck, the Bang & Olufsen. And I have played with the system a little bit and it really does sound good. Also above your power controls, you get this interesting type of material right here. I'm not sure if this is supposed to be wood, although that'd be my best guess. Maybe some sort of aluminum mimicking material. I'm not really sure, but it looks nice in this truck, I will say that. Here's your driver's seat. Now this is fully power adjustable. It is also heated and cooled. You can see here the perforated leather here to allow it to be heated and cooled. You get a little bit of contrast stitching and piping. It's not overly luxurious in this Lariat, but it does still look really good. Down the floor, you got these nice rubberized floor mats with Super Duty in them. No mistaking what kind of truck this is, even looking at the floor mats. Right here on the dash, you can see around your air vents, you do have a brushed aluminum looking material. I'm pretty sure it's not, but it looks really nice. And of course, you get this nice flag Easter egg, which depending on the trim and variety of the F-Series truck you get, comes in different colors, which is nice. This one is this nice chrome color. It's really cool. You get that American flag because, you know, Ford F-Series. Marca. Down here to the left of the steering wheel, here's a few controls. Here's one for your bed light, of course your headlight controls, gauge cluster brightness. Here you have a button to adjust your foot pedals. You do have power adjustable foot pedals. Electronic parking brake, unfortunately, but that's just where the car industry is going now. And these two buttons up here are pretty awesome. This one on the right is actually to release your tailgate. So if you double click this button, down goes your tailgate. And then to the left of that are actually 2 buttons with mirrors and lights on them. I really like this. If we push this on button right here on the left side, then you get this light that lights up in the front side of your driver's side mirror. And of course, there's also one for the passenger side, a light to shine down on the ground from the mirror, once again, so you can see around the perimeter of the truck after dark. All right, looking straight on at the steering wheel here. It's not a fancy steering wheel, but it's pretty nice. It's got a little bit of contrastive stitching in it for some style. Over here on the left, here's all your controls for your volume, your voice commands, lane keep assist, adaptive cruise control, cruise control settings themselves, all that. And over here on the right, buttons you're going to use for phone, track selection, and these buttons up here are going to be used for the menus in your gauge cluster screen. Speaking of your gauge cluster screen, here is the optional 12-inch digital gauge cluster screen in the Ford Super Duty. So you see right now it's pretty much in a normal setting. You got your tach on the left, your speedo on the right, and of course your typical array of gauges up top that you're going to get in a Super Duty: coolant temp, oil pressure, trans temp, and your fuel gauge with a range estimate right there. Tell you approximately how far you're going to go on what you've got. Now down here to the right of the wheel, there is a drive mode selector. You can see we're going to start out here in eco mode. Turn it to the right, here's tow haul mode. You see the little picture of the trailer show up there. Turn it again, you're going to get normal mode. From normal, turn to the right, we go into slippery roads mode, and then one more twist into off-road mode. And you can see the gauge cluster screen now changes to show you on a rough terrain. It changes colors a little bit. Put those in a 4-wheel drive. It's in 4 high right now, turns traction off, kind of cool. I do kind of like the way that looks in 4-wheel drive mode. Another thing you get when you turn it into off-road mode is in your infotainment screen, it's going to throw up a front-facing camera, and you see it's going to put tire tracks down here. It's going to show you where your tires are going to be as you continue rolling forward. So if you're trying to tackle a trail or crawl over some rocks or something, you're going to know where your tires are going to end up, you know, in the current direction. And if you turn the wheel, they're going to shift with it. Once again, trajectory lines for the front steering, so you know exactly where your tires are going to go, and you can be more confident on those off-road trails in this giant truck. All right, now let's explore this gauge screen a little more, shall we? So right here, so once again, the controls are on the right side of the steering wheel. If I start hitting the down arrow in the middle with it on this view, you can see you can switch between different things in the center display. So here's your driver assistance. This is going to be for your adaptive cruise, of course, and for your lane keep assist. And there's the truck on the road. You're going to see all the different information pop up around it. Down here, calm view, and here you're going to see it all it gives you is a speedometer and your fuel gauge. That's all you get in calm mode. No distractions, just only the absolute essentials for driving down the highway. And you can see here, we keep going down. Here's your trip odometer. Here's your fuel economy estimates, which I don't imagine are going to be great in a big truck like this. You get some gauge, you get some general measurements, coolant temp, trans temp, all that good stuff. Here, of course, some diesel measurements because this is a diesel truck. So you're going to get, of course, get your boost pressure, your engine brake, exhaust filter percentage, that kind of thing. How much def you got in the system, stuff you're going to need for a diesel truck. Going down here again, here's some diesel gauges. So there's a gauge for your exhaust brake and for your turbo PSI. If we hit the menu button to the right of those arrows, here's going to go into your main menu. We scroll down, here's trip and fuel. You can tell, oh, okay, what do I want to look at? Trip 1, trip 2, and of course fuel economy. So go back up from that, back up again. Heads up display, we'll get to that in a second. Hit gauges right here. Here we go. It's going to show you all kinds of different measurements right here. And here's one that actually didn't show up. Here's auxiliary gauges for coolant temp and battery voltage. Nice stuff to have. Let's back up out of that. Diesel measurements, once you're going to get a more detailed view of the diesel measurements in your truck. Diesel gauges. Back up from that. Keep going down. Going to off-road status. And now here's going to show you your pitch and roll. It's going to show you your drivetrain in real time with some four-wheel drive and whatnot. And if you look right up at the top at the front nose of the truck in the picture, as I start to turn the wheel, it's going to show you steering angle, but also the wheels on the display are actually going to turn with the wheels on the outside of the truck. That's a nice touch. Back out of that, go to pitch and roll. And now it's just going to give you a big display showing the pitch and roll for when you're out on the trails, of course. We're going to back up from that, go down to towing. You get trailer information, trailer tire information, all the stuff you're going to need to know when towing a trailer. You get a navigation menu right here, so you're going to be able to select a few different things right here from your gauge screen instead of having to look at the infotainment system. It's not quite as detailed, but you get to select a few things like my home. You program your home address, previous destination, favorites, looking for points of interest, that kind of thing right here in your gauge screen. Here's your phone, audio, vehicle maintenance, and settings. If we go into settings, up here to configure gauges, temperature gauge option, standard, or do we want to go detailed? With detailed, you actually get a number display on your temperature gauges, or we can turn that off and all you get is just, you know, a general display of what your temperatures are. Right selectable gauge, we click on that. Right now it's on transmission temperature. Maybe you want to change that to engine oil temperature. That's going to change this one here, second over from the right. You can select, maybe I want it to be turbo boost. There's a turbo boost, trans temp, or you can have it display your def level. Of course, you have your left selectable gauge. Right now that one is on oil pressure, but you can also change it to any of those other things. So you can decide what you want those two center gauges to show you. And if for some reason you don't like them in that configuration, you want to swap them left to right, you can also do that. Another touch that I actually kind of like here is if I throw this thing down and drive, you're going to see it's actually going to display all the 1 through 10 gears of this 10-speed transmission and show it as it shifts into each one in real time. That's kind of a neat touch. All right, another very important feature new for 2023 on your Super Duty is the heads-up display, and this is a great heads-up display. It's good, very clear, very crisp on the windshield. I'm hoping that it'll come through good on camera. Now this is adjusted, like I said a second ago, it's adjusted in the gauge cluster screen from that menu, and we can adjust the brightness, we can adjust the vertical position right here, so we can just up and down, wherever you want it to be. Image rotation, if for some reason you want it to be rotated, you can do that. Now you can also select the drive mode layout. So here it's sitting in tow haul mode right now. If we stick it in off-road mode, you can see the tachometer changes right there. You can see it changes right there. The tach gets smaller down on the bottom. You got your pitch and roll right there, right in front of you in the heads-up display, as well as your steering angle and your four-wheel drive status. Put it in tow haul mode, and there's your big tachometer with your speedometer to the right of it. Put it in normal mode, and it's just got your time, your temp, and your speedometer. Now if we back out, if we go to, we can also select what content we want to see. So we can tell it if we want to see the pitch and roll in off-road layout or not. You tell it whether you want to see driver assistance. It will show driver assistance displays up there when you're driving. You can also tell it if you want your time and temperature or your miles to empty. Or you can just tell it you just want a speedometer. Now looking at our center control stack, you can see starting up at the top on the dash, here's a logo that says you got that Bang & Olufsen B&O sound system in this truck. There's a dash speaker that goes along with that. Little storage tray up here, you can throw your phone or something up there, maybe some loose change or whatever. Down here above your infotainment screen, here's a few quick buttons. Here's for your exhaust brake, here's your camera display buttons, here's your hazards, traction control off, and hill descent assist as well. Down here we see the optional 12-inch infotainment screen. We'll get back to that in more detail here in a minute. On either side, you got nice, decent sized air vents as well. Over here to the left, of course, is your Pro Trailer Backup Assist. You can use this thing to have the truck both back itself right up to a trailer and hitch up easily without you having to aim. And of course, it will also, you can also use this to back a trailer into a spot, have the truck do that for you as well. So if you're not too skilled to back in a trailer, the truck can do that. Below your screen here, of course, is your four-wheel drive selector, your drive mode selector in the middle of that. You also have an integrated trailer brake controller. Here you go. Here's a few hard controls for your audio. So of course your power on, your volume, your tuner knob, that kind of thing, as well as next and previous track, play pods and whatnot. So kind of nice to have a few hard controls right there. If you push this button right here, you see it looks like a screen with a slash through it. You push this button right here, you're going to put it on kind of a calm screen with just your time. Push it again, it turns completely off, which could be great for night driving or for cleaning. Push that button again, it's going to pull up with everything on the screen again. Below that, here's your dual zone climate control. Nice physical controls for everything down here. You don't have to do a thing in the gauge screen. In fact, there's no ability that I've seen so far to do anything in the gauge screen. It's all down here, which is perfect. Of course, your defroster buttons. Here's your temp knobs, nice, big, easy to use. Power buttons in the center of those. You do have your dual zone heated steering wheel, heated and ventilated seats. Actually, I think they're more cooled seats, and this is on right now, and it feels great. It's hot outside, 92 degrees. Fan speed adjuster up and down, kind of this toggle switch, really neat. Love that we have hard controls in this truck. Over to the right of that, you get some connectivity. You get your 12-volt round right here, and your 120-volt house type plug right there. Below your climate controls, you've got this lid right here with this silver lip. If you push forward on this, it's going to reveal charging. So here you have a wireless cell phone charging pad right here. Drop my phone on there, and there's charging. To the right of that, you get a USB type A and C charging ports, and you can probably put a few things down in there if you needed to. Behind that is this little tray, and if we look in this tray, there's 3 holes in here. This is really nice. So if you have more than one device up here, you need to run a charging cord, you can run it through these holes, not clutter up your center console storage area, and you can set a few phones right in here and charge them up via cable if you have to. And when you're ready to close all that up and make it disappear, just push again and it slides right back. Right here, you can see you've got this nice little storage area. You can drop some stuff in there. Right here on the rubberized mat, it's even stamped. It says F-Series established 1948. That is actually a very significant thing in this truck in 2023. I'll show you that in a second. To the right of that, you get your cup holders, and you can see there's 2 cup holders over here, which is cool. But if you look at this top piece, it's got these symbols on it. So what do these symbols mean? Well, it means you have actually 4 cup holders in front of the truck. Just slide this thing to the left. Boom. That extra storage space becomes 2 more cup holders. So you can either have 4 cup holders in here or 2+ storage. All right, coming back from there, here is of course your center console storage lid. Is also a nice soft touch armrest. Behind that, you get a couple of cup holders, which are going to be more geared towards the rear seats, as they are kind of an awkward position for the fronts. If we lift up this lid, you're not going to get a lot in here. It's pretty much just this nice deep storage area. You do get a light for nighttime access, and you get a couple of USB Type-C ports in here for even more device charging. But that's really all there is to this console. Nothing special here. Now, these trucks can come with an optional work surface, much like the F-150 trucks do, although it is a little bit different. There's no folding gear selector down in the center console. It kind of slides forward and can tilt towards you this way. And it's kind of an angled work surface for your laptop or whatever. This truck's not equipped with it, but that is an option in your Super Duty truck. Now, you also have the option to seat 6 people in your new Ford Super Duty. As we can see here in this SXT model, we have the center seat right here that's folded down into this center console configuration. You got a couple of cup holders right here. You do have kind of a shallow-ish center storage console area right here. No charging that I can see in this area. Now, if we pick up on the seat, you can see, boom, there's your number 6 seat, center of the front. But you also have a little bit more console storage right here in the seat bottom. Again, no charging I can see in here, but it is another shallow storage area. So if you do need to seat 6 people, you can have that option, as well as a little bit of center console storage. Over here on the passenger side of the dashboard, you get 2 glove boxes, which is something Ford started doing the F-150s a few years ago. Of course, you get your lower lockable glove box, which is of decent size. It's not too bad. Inside, you got the control for the passenger side airbags. Should you have a child up here, something like that, that's where you're going to find that control. Up top, you've got another glove box. Hit this button right below this air vent next to the screen, and that lid will shoot right up for you. And remember, that tray that I took out of the center console, this one right here, well, if you don't want that in your center console, you want it out of your way, it will just slide right in here and the lid will close, no problem. Another touch I like here on the passenger side of the dashboard, right here between the 2 glove boxes on this flat part, you can see they've put Super Duty here in the trim. That's a nice touch, nice detail. While we're looking at the center console, if we get down next to the driver's side seat, you're gonna see the side of your center console has a little bit more storage right here. You can stick some things down here in the side of the console, as does the passenger side. You're not gonna get a lot in here, but you know, Gatorade bottle will barely fit in that one, and it'll definitely fit in the other side. Let's go up, shall we? So here we're looking at a traditional rear view mirror, nothing special here, no digital camera mirror. I'm not seeing Ford adopt that yet. I'm really hoping they eventually do. I personally believe it's the greatest thing ever in the history of rearview mirrors, but that's just me. Up here, you got your controls for your sunroof. You got your reading or map lights. Here's a control for your rear sliding window. Yes, this truck does have a rear sliding window. If we push that button, your window's gonna open. Pull it, and it's gonna close. Back from that, here's your sunglass holder. And here are your auxiliary upfitter switches, which is a very Ford thing that Ford has been doing since the first Raptor. Very nice if you want to add off-road lights or a winch or whatever. You've got switches right here, pre-built into the truck to wire directly into for whatever accessories you want to put on this truck. And they're just very satisfying to click. And back from that, you can see the big double pane, nearly panoramic sunroof on this truck. You get a lot of view above you right there. Definitely an open feel on this thing. To the left and right of that's a couple more speakers to go with that Bang & Olufsen system right above your head. All right, now I'd like to focus our attention on this optional 12-inch infotainment screen. Now standard is an 8-inch, but this is your optional 12-inch. So right here is pretty much what could be considered your home screen. You got your audio right here, taking up most of the left side, pretty much 2/3. And you got a separate little panel over here that's got your navigation on it. Now if we turn the audio on, either with the button down here or with this button right here, and then kill the volume because, you know, music on YouTube, here's gonna show your audio. Go up here to sources, and you're gonna see you've got AM, FM, Sirius XM, hit Bluetooth audio, and you can connect a device. Down below you got your presets. You can set your Sirius or your AM, FM presets down here. Nice, easy access. To the right, like I said, you do have this navigation map right here, but what's cool is you can actually change what you see over here. So if you hit this one here, it looks like a bunch of pages. You can either move up and down and control it and show it what you want. So you got navigation, bed camera, zone lighting, or you can even swipe up and down like I'm doing now as well. Off-road, fuel economy, trips, phone, right back to navigation. Close out of that. And then suppose you want whatever's on that side to be bigger over here, you can just tap it. It'll throw it over here, and your audio's over here. Tap again, and it's going to switch them again. But if you want it to be a little bit more engaging, you can also swipe it over. And same thing, now you got your full screen map right here with your audio or whatever over there. And of course, you can still change what you see over here as well while you're looking at navigation. While I'm over here, let's tap through here. Here's your bed camera. So if we tap this button right here, it's actually going to throw a small view here of looking into the bed of your truck. So you can have your bed camera and still have your navigation or whatever up as well. Down along the bottom, you got a few buttons right here. Here's your audio tab, which of course has your audio. Phone tab, you're going to go in here, you're going to connect a phone. Navigation, that's the other way to get your navigation up here in full view with your small pane on the other side. Here's this button that says Fave. You can select a favorite app tile to put down here, and here's the ones you can select from. You got phone list, recent calls, messaging, email, zone lighting, audio sources, sound settings, all that good stuff. Swipe over, you get driver assistance, vehicle settings, Wi-Fi, and vehicle hotspot. So that's kind of nice. The one button down here that's selectable, if you got something you use a lot, such as your towing settings, put that down there, you can just go right to that. Click on apps right here, and the two most important things you're going to see right here are wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto in this system. Very nice. The Sync 4 system with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto baked right in. Go over here to setting and go into vehicle settings, and of course all kinds of different stuff you can do here. 30-minute max idle, that's kind of cool, so it'll shut it down after half an hour. I'm going to go ahead and turn that off because I'm sitting here filming and it's hot outside. I really don't want this truck to shut down. Rear occupant alert, that's nice to have if you have kids or pets in the back and you don't want to forget that they're there. And this is actually where you're going to go to set up your code for that exterior door keypad right there. If we go over here and click on features, then you've got your driver's assistance, your zone lighting, hit that. So now we're in zone lighting, tap the on button, you can select what zone you want to light up, the driver's side, maybe the passenger side, maybe the rear. Let's hit all zones and let's go see outside what that just did. So once you can see, once we've hit all zones in the zone lighting, you get your driver's side mirror, you get your fog lamps on the front of the truck, you get your passenger side mirror, and you get that light on the back of the tailgate that shines down on the ground. So you can light up the entire perimeter of this truck when you're outside in the dark and see all the way around it. Of course, you got your towing settings right here. Actually, this is kind of cool. You get a connection checklist, so it'll run you through what you need to make sure you've done before you actually set out with a trailer attached to it. And you get your owner's manual right here in your infotainment system. So while we're looking at the infotainment, let's throw the truck in reverse. And here's your backup camera system. You can see right here, you got your guidelines, your trajectory lines that turn, as well as your center line for lining up a hitch. Here's your top-down view of the truck, which is nice. You can also zoom in on this thing, zoom in. Where do you want to zoom? Maybe you want to zoom in on this left side corner. Maybe you want to focus on the front for off-roading. You can see, oh, now you've got your tire tracks right there behind the truck. Click that again. It's going to move it forward a little bit. You get your tire tracks right there. Once again, it's nice for navigating this big thing in tight places. Zoom in on literally whatever corner you want, just in case you're afraid of backing into something. That's actually a really nice feature. I do kind of like that. Now, the other way to access cameras in this truck is right here. Press on this camera button, And now look at this. Now we have a front facing camera and that top down view again. So here, of course, you can see there's the dealership right in front of us on our front facing camera. We got a little options menu right here. If we click on that and click right here, now we get a full screen view of the front view of the truck. If we go down to one below that, now you get a big wide view up front. That's kind of nice. Click right here. You're going to get your bed camera so you can see the stuff in your bed. What's even more useful here is you can see it's got that center line. It's going to help you line up your gooseneck or fifth wheel hitch if you've got one in the truck. Hit this one right here, you get your full screen view of the rear. Hit this one right here, you're going to zoom right in on your trailer hitch below the bumper. Once again, great for lining up trailers. Hit this one right here. Now you're going to see down both sides of the truck. You can see straight down the driver's side. You can see my tripod back there. And you can see straight down the driver's side, there's that Explorer right there next to the truck. And we'll just go back up here to the default right here. So lots of great camera angle options in this truck. Definitely going to be helpful when you're having to navigate this big truck around tight areas, and especially if you're trying to hitch your trailer up to it of any variety. All right, time to climb into the rear of the brand new Super Duty. And I do mean climb. But once you're in here, you get a lot of room. Of course, that's just a thing about most modern full-size trucks now, and especially your Super Duty levels. You get a ton of room in the rear. Headroom's nice, legroom is great. You can sit 3 people across in the seat, no problem. All right, now looking at the rear in more detail, looking at the door card here, it's pretty much the exact same as the front. It's got the same materials, same accents in it. Looks really nice. Come back here, looking at the back side of your front seat, you do have a storage map pocket on the back side of each seat, not just one. And on the back side of your center console storage area, you do get a couple of climate vents, however, no separate controls. You do have heated seats back here, which is another nice feature in this truck. Dual USB Type-C ports. Down below, you get your 12-volt round and another 120-volt. If we look right here, the driver's side seat, you can just kind of fold this thing right up and lock it into place. And you can see right here, there is a storage bin down here in the floor. Now this storage bin does another trick we'll show you in a second. Over on the passenger side, there's a loop up here in the seat back. If we pull that loop, it's gonna drop down. This is where your jack is gonna be stored. Put that seat back up, we'll lift the bottom up, and here you can see this full storage tray. It's kind of cool, storage box under the seat, so you can store stuff in here, put the seats back down, and it'll be hidden. And when you do put the seats back down, if you notice something, there's a keyhole right here. You can lock these seats into position so they cannot be picked up. Now suppose you need to get some large items in the back of the truck, you want them out of the weather, you want them locked in the truck, but this thing's in your way, quite easy. There's a release lever right here. If we just pull on that, I've already pulled the other side. You just fold it right down, and now you get a flat storage floor. Of course, when you want it back, just pick it back up, push the latch into place, and you're good to go. Do that on both sides. And if you need to divide this area for some reason, you also have a little divider right here. Just kind of pop this thing out, swing it into place, latch it, and now you've got divided storage in the back. And just in case you're wondering if the people in front are the only ones that have an option to have 4 drinks, no, the rear can too. You got the 2 on the back of the center console, and if you pull down here on the center seat, you can delete 1 person, but add an armrest of cup holders. All right, and now with my tripod in its absolute highest possible position, let's talk about your powertrain options for your all-new 2023 Ford Super Duty. So the new Super Duty can be optioned with 4 different engines depending on your needs. The first of which is, of course, the 6.8 liter gasoline V8, producing 405 horsepower and 445 pound-feet of torque. Your next engine option, and one I would definitely like to get my hands on, is the 7.3 liter Godzilla naturally aspirated V8 gas engine. That one produces 430 horsepower, 485 pound-feet of torque. And then you get into your diesel options. Your next engine option, of course, is a 6.7 liter Powerstroke V8 diesel, producing 475 horsepower and 1,050 pound-feet of torque. But for 2023, you now have the option for the high output Powerstroke V8 diesel. This engine creates 500 horsepower and 1,200 pound-feet of torque. And in fact, that is the engine we have right here in this tester today, the 6.7 liter high output Powerstroke. Now, no matter what engine option you choose, you're going to get a 10-speed automatic transmission that pretty much all your Ford trucks have as well. There is, of course, no manual option, but there's also no option for a lesser transmission. One option here in the engine bay I will show you that this truck is equipped with is the optional dual battery setup. You can see you got one on driver and one on passenger. I'm not seeing a dual alternator setup on this truck, although you can get that if you plan on powering a lot of stuff and need that extra power to, well, power things. But this particular tester just has a dual battery, not the alternators. All right, and of course, you can't talk about a Ford Super Duty without talking about its capabilities for carrying things and for towing things. Now, a properly equipped F-250, we're talking about the F-250 level only, is capable of towing up to 22,000 pounds. just still a pretty good amount of weight. And of course, it's also capable of carrying up to 4,300 pounds in the bed. Now, if you opt to go all the way up to a fully equipped Ford F-450 dually Super Duty with this big high output engine, then you're going to be looking at a towing capacity of somewhere in the neighborhood of up to 40,000 pounds. That is a lot. We're talking about the 250 in this video. Now, as far as pricing is concerned, your Ford Super Duty starting at your lowest level F-250 is going to start you just under $44,000 before any kind of options or engine upgrades or whatever. Just as an example, this high output 6.7 is actually a $12,000 upgrade over any of the other engine options. And now this truck that I'm testing today, the way it's equipped, comes in at just a little over $89,000. Now, as far as fuel economy is concerned, my research has shown me ratings of right around maybe 22 miles per gallon city, 30 highway for your F-250 with the high output. Of course, now if you start loading up the bed and towing things and adding more and more options that add weight to the truck, then yeah, you're going to decrease that fuel economy. But you're probably still going to be more economical with a diesel than you are with a gasoline engine, although I still would like to get my hands on that Godzilla. All right, let's take the Doug DeMuro pose just to give you an idea of just how big this vehicle is. That'll do it for the walk around inside and outside tour of this truck. Now let's get this thing out on the road and see what it's like to drive this beast of a truck. I've said that about a lot of vehicles, but this truly is a beast of a truck. All right, folks, we'll get to the driving portion of this video in just a second, but before we do, I'd like to ask you all a quick favor. When you get done watching this video, why don't you go back to the channel and check out what else I've got going on the channel, all the reviews I've got of the videos. And if you like what you see there, you want to see what else I've got coming up, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you'll never miss another video. Also, follow over on social media, Facebook and Instagram, at That Car Vlog channel. It's another great way to get notified of when a video goes up, and who knows, eventually maybe I might start putting other things on those platforms as well. I'm not going to hold my breath or make any promises, but maybe. All right, let's go drive the Super Duty, shall we? So before we get going, of course, we have to start the truck, and I normally don't show startup sequences on the channel, but I want to show you guys the screens in this truck. So we're going to hit the start button here, and you watch everything come to life. You get this neat animation on the gauge cluster, but look here in the infotainment screen. 75 years, 48 to 2023. You're only going to get that on your 23 model trucks. That's right. 2023 is the 75th anniversary of Ford F-Series trucks. So that's kind of a really neat Easter egg you get in the infotainment screen. I really do like. That's really cool. All right, driving the new Super Duty F-250. Now, I'm not going to be too rough on this thing because it does only have 23 miles on it. I definitely don't want to overdo it on the very first brand new vehicle on my channel. But while we're waiting at the red light, waiting to get to the highway, let's just talk real quick about just being in this truck. First of all, it is spacious in here. there's so much room in this truck, it's crazy. I'm a big guy and I feel very comfortable in this truck. The seats are quite comfortable. Turn on the cooled seats right now. It's 90 degrees outside. I got the AC on low because sound quality. But right now, my butt and back are feeling great. These seats really do work. They work nice. As far as visibility, you've got decent visibility at the rear, great out the front, sides, all that good stuff. And you got these big side view mirrors, which are going to offer you that, that visibility behind the truck and your blind spots and stuff, which you're going to want in a vehicle this big, because this is a big vehicle. I got this heads-up display in front of me, and this thing is vibrant, it's bright, it's pretty much perfect. It's amazing. It's perfectly visible. It's right there in your line of sight. It's telling me what the speed limit on the highway is, what my current speed is, the outside temperature of 85 degrees. It has cooled down a few degrees since I started the video, and I don't have to look down at my gauge screen. Now, not that my gauge screen isn't nice to look at, because it is also nice, vibrant. It's got a lot of great information on there, and I can display a lot of different stuff on the screen depending on what information I want to see. Comfort, this is a pretty comfortable truck. I'm going over some relatively rough highway bumps in this thing. These bridges right here close to the dealership have some pretty rough transitions, and it doesn't soak them up like you can't feel them, because this is a heavy-duty truck. It's made for pulling. However, this seats, it's definitely pretty comfortable in here. If this wasn't a YouTube video, I could play the Bang & Olufsen sound system. That thing sounds great. It's got all the creature comfort you're going to want. It doesn't have massaging seats, but it still has a lot of comfort features. Obviously, it's got all your safety features that you come to expect out of any modern vehicle. It's got, of course, your blind spot monitoring, your lane keep assist, your adaptive cruise control, all that good stuff that you're going to come to expect out of most modern vehicles. Now, I could talk about handling, but it's kind of pointless in a vehicle like this. This is a big lumbering truck, and you're definitely not taking any corners, at least not hard, in this truck. This thing it's a big Super Duty truck. It's not made for that. But as far as just general handling, it's not unwieldy. It's not intimidating whatsoever to drive. It's not too vague. It's not all over the road. I mean, it shouldn't be. It's a brand new truck, but still, this thing is huge. And you can feel that power from that diesel engine. Also, with that diesel engine, you can definitely hear it, but it's not incredibly loud. It's not like you're not going to be able to hold a conversation or listen to music. You can hear it. You know it's there, but it's not incredibly loud. I do like that I can turn on my front view camera and I can see right in front of me. See that car in front of me right there? And I can see where my truck is within the lane lines. Not that I really need it, but it is a nice thing to have. I got this big sunroof over my head, so I got a nice open view of the sky, the very, very cloudy sky. So it also feels kind of open in this truck as well, but at the same time, I'm sitting here with air conditioning and cooled seats, and it's actually very comfortable in here. I feel like based on what I'm feeling just in the short amount of time I'm going to spend driving this truck, that I could definitely road trip this beast. Now, I don't know what the 0 to 60 is in a truck like this, and I'm not going to really give it a lot because this is it's a brand new truck with almost no miles on it. But we'll get a sense of from 0 just what it feels like to accelerate in this thing. Yeah, so I mean, it's not quick, it's not insanely fast. I'm not giving it all it's got either because, once again, brand new engine. Getting the RPMs up to about 2 to 2,500. But you can feel when it takes off, you can feel it's got that 1,200 pound of torque. Yeah, you can definitely tell it's got that. You can feel the torque. I'll do that again. Just. Oh yeah, you can definitely feel it. All right, I'm gonna stop now because, once again, like I said, brand new engine, don't want to mess it up. I do like this thing, and this thing is well equipped, and it's not even a high trim truck. You can go even higher than this. You can go up to the super fancy King Ranch, and of course they have the Limited, and one other in between there. I think it's a Titanium. I'll throw that on the screen because I honestly can't remember. Now, you are gonna pay for those niceties. Like I said, this truck, the way it's set up, is coming in just a little over $89,000. MSRP. Now, if you go all the way up to the dually F-450 fully optioned, yeah, you're gonna easily exceed $100,000 for an F-Series truck. So you're definitely gonna be throwing some money at these things if you want one, but you're getting a lot for your money. This is a nice truck. I definitely enjoy this thing. See how tight this turning circle is. You know, for a truck this big, that's not a bad turning circle. So as we head back to the dealer to sum up driving impressions of this truck, comfortable, very comfortable. It's got a lot of nice tech in it, a lot of good safety features, a lot of nice conveniences. It's got a lot of the stuff you expect from it, like wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, nice big infotainment screen, and it also can pull and carry a lot of stuff, but you can also cruise comfortably down the highway for hours at a time with this big commanding view over the road, not be intimidated whatsoever by this truck. All right, y'all, so that's going to do it for the brand new, fully redesigned 2023 Ford Super Duty. This one, of course, the F-250 Lariat edition. Guys, this is a great truck. This is a big, beastly, very capable truck, and I really like it. Lots of great features, lots of capability, and really, really good styling. If you're looking at getting a big Super Duty diesel truck and you're thinking Ford, Chevy, Dodge, definitely take a serious look at this Ford Super Duty truck. These things are sweet. Anyway, guys, like I said, that's gonna do it. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. Once again, huge special thanks to Ted Russell Ford on Parkside Drive, Knoxville, Tennessee, for loaning me this truck for today's review, my first ever brand new vehicle on the channel, and I'm super stoked. When you get done here, definitely check them out at the link in the description below. They got 2 stores here in Knoxville and a great inventory at both. Once again, once you're done here, make sure to subscribe to the channel, follow on Facebook and Instagram at That Car Vlog channel for channel updates, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.